What's good, guys? We'll give it a final 60 seconds. Just make sure your entire team is on this call before it gets maxed out. Like I said, we'll give it about 60 more seconds, and we'll have Christian Jewkes take it over, guys. 60 more seconds.
I'm really lucky to be doing what I'm doing, and I just want to say thank you. Damn, I'm getting emotional about it. Baby, she got that glue. I know you see me over here. So dance on me real slow. We've been going for about 2 hours, and I don't even know your name. So baby, please reveal. Your friends are calling you. Baby, stay with me instead.
For sure, guys. I want to thank every single one of you guys for coming on here today. You know, it is a Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I know it is pretty late on the East Coast. Obviously, if you're on here, you're ready to take your 90-day sprint, your 90-day commitment. Now, the next gentleman that I'm going to bring up, absolute monster in this industry, has generated hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales. And I actually look up to one of these guys as a mentor to me as well, guys. So I'm super excited to be bringing up Mr. Christian Jewkes on the call. This guy is about to drop so many nuggets for you guys, and I just want to make sure that you guys have your notes out, a sheet of paper or something along the side with you that you could go out there and actually take notes, because guys, understand, note takers are money makers, right? And notes are a visual representation of all your hard work and effort. And the notes that you're going to take today, you'll be able to provide to everybody else tomorrow that wasn't on the call, or to your future groups, guys. So real quick, everybody, I want to thank you for hopping on here. And Christian Jewkes, are you there?
I am, my man. Can you hear me? Perfect. All right, give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Boom. There we go. What's going on, peeps? Hope you are doing well. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon, Monday night over here. And the momentum since SOARS has been unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Company-wide, organization-wide, it's been monumental. And so tonight, I know we have a lot of new people who have been gotten started within iMarkets Live in the last 30, 60, 90 days. And so what I want to do is I want to go back to the basics tonight. And for those of you guys who've been in the game for a little bit, you've been here since the beginning, or you've been in the industry before, understand that the master, that the guru, that the top earners simply do the basics better. And that's the reason why I love Matt, I love Jason, I love Alex, I love all of the guys that are the top, you know, Christopher Derrick and then Mr. John Guaman himself, is simply they have mastered the basics. And so tonight, that's what we're going to go back to. And I've got just a few short things for success checklist that we're going to go over. But before I do, I want to make sure you guys got your blue pens, you got your notebooks out, because this is going to be huge. This is going to be key. And I don't know about you guys, but I like to study successful entrepreneurs, and not just people like Steve Jobs or Bezos or, you know, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg or any of those guys, but actually go back in time a little bit, because you have to understand success leaves clues, and there are principles that you can take and apply regardless of industry in Uber. And so one of the people that I love who's been uber successful to study is Mr. Andrew Carnegie. And if you don't know who Andrew Carnegie is, I would write that name down. Someone you should absolutely look into. Someone who has seen enormous amounts of wealth. In fact, he was the wealthiest person to walk planet Earth outside of King Solomon. So the second wealthiest person to ever walk the face of the planet. So probably someone you should know, someone you should maybe do your research on. But Andrew Carnegie sold his company to JP Morgan. It was US Steel. And he sold his company to JP Morgan in 1901 for $480 million in one transaction. And if you equate that to what $480 million from 1901 to 2018, it's a little bit around 300 billion today. So isn't it crazy that, you're seeing companies like, oh, we reached $1 billion, oh, we did this. Imagine you are the CEO, a founder of a company, and you sell your company for $300 billion. Pretty insane. And so the reason why I want to talk to you guys about Andrew Carnegie tonight is there was two things that he looked for. He was known for being a master at hiring the best people in the world. He was known through sorting through the billions of people on the planet and having the top employees, the top people he would bring into his company. And I found that just unbelievable that, number one, a principle you can take away from this story is you attract who you are. You attract who you are. The reason why personal development, personal growth, hopping on calls, staying plugged in like this is so key, so important, that personal growth, and it starts inner before it's recognized outer, is that as you continue to grow, the level of prospects, the level of customers, the level of IBOs, the level of the quality of person that you're able to bring into this organization is going to continue to grow as you do. You're going to start to attract people, what we call recruiting up. And so it's a huge principle that Andrew Carnegie was able to attract so many phenomenal executives on his board, so many amazing people that were managers, so many people that were running different railroads and making different business acquisitions, because his work schedule is he worked less than 25 hours a week for 10 years to build that $300 billion transaction. He was known for taking 2-week-long vacations. He was known for getting in the office at 9 and leaving by 2. This is someone who understood leverage. And here's what's key, and I want you guys to write these two things down. Carnegie looked for two things when he was hiring leaders. Leaders create leaders. If you don't already know that, write that one down as well. Leaders create leaders. And the two things that Andrew Carnegie looked for, the two things that he looked for when he was hiring new leaders, when he was bringing on someone new, is number one, their ability to energize themselves. The ability to energize themselves. How are they able to transfer energy and to be able to wake up every single morning, to stay up every single night and stay focused? How are they able to bring energy, right? We're in an ocean of motion, and where energy flows, the money tends to go. And so that's the reason why you look at people who are highly successful. They're not excited because they're successful. They're successful because they're excited. And so number one, the ability to energize themselves. Number two, the ability to energize others. And this is huge. What is your ability to transfer energy, to inject positivity, gratitude, abundance, to energize others? And it starts with you, which is why it's that first principle. But then you have to learn to transfer that energy, transfer that vision, transfer that excitement, transfer that skill set, transfer that leadership into somebody else. Pour into another trader, pour into the newest member, launch the newest person the right way. And so Andrew Carnegie, those are the two principles you look for. Guys, when you write your prospect list, that's what I would look for. Qualify those people, not just anybody and everybody you should be bending over backwards for just because they got started. Look for people who, number one, can energize themselves. They're motivated, they're hungry, they're teachable, they're coachable, they have a willingness to learn and a willingness to accept change. And then number two, really pour into people who have the ability to transfer energy into others. Those people are going to duplicate. Those people are going to leave. Those people that you put a few hours into will end up pouring into thousands and tens of thousands of people all over the world. And so now that we understand those two things and what to look for, I want to go ahead and share my screen real quick and go ahead and rock the success checklist and then throw it off for some even more successful people. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let's go with the start. Perfect. The success checklist. Can you see that? Perfect. The success checklist. So, number one, do I have a dream that I will never give up on? Do I have a dream that I will never give up on? Write these 10. 10 things for your success checklist. This is whether you just got started today. It is October 1st. It is officially 90 days from January 1st, 2019. So you have to ask yourself, do you have a dream that you'll never give up on? What is that mission? If God provided a vision, I promise you, he will provide you the provision, but you have to stay consistent and you cannot give up on that dream. So ask yourself, write it down. Do I have a dream I'll never give up on? And if you've never written down life as you would like it to be, I would highly encourage tonight, you write down, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living in Lake Norman in a 7,000 square foot custom house that's lakefront. I'm so happy and grateful. I'm driving a Ferrari 488 Spider. I'm so happy and grateful now that I've got 2 amazing, beautiful kids. I'm so happy and grateful I have a beach house in Miami that I rent out. I'm so happy and grateful that I have 7 sources of income providing me each 7 figures by year 2025. Guys, write life as you would like it to be, whether it's this perfect spouse, the perfect house. You have to declare what you want. Do I have a dream I'll never give up on? Step number 1. Step number 2, do you understand that attitude is everything? The attitude is everything. Do you understand that? Guys, I believe, and this is my belief, take it for what you want, but my belief is that you can only control 2 things in your life. I want that to sink in. I believe you can only control 2 things. And it's a very powerful breakthrough to have. It really is. Whenever you have this, when you come to this conscious level where you understand that these are the only 2 things, your life becomes stress-free. Your life becomes abundant. Your life truly gets to a place where you can pour into others. Number 1 is your attitude. Number 1 is your attitude. That's the first thing you can control. You control your thoughts. You can control your feelings. You can control your emotions. If you disagree with me, the top neuroscience in the world had an incredible interview with a mentor of mine who introduced me to this amazing eternal life that I now live. And her name is Claire Leaf, I believe. And she did an interview with Stephen Furtick, who's a mentor of mine, someone actually I met personally, got introduced to when I was in college when I started network marketing. And there's a podcast, an interview that he did that's on my IG story. And so if you want to challenge me on this and understand that you can control every thought, every single thought that you have, it's so powerful. So number 1, your attitude. And then number 2, your actions. God gave you 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 ears, 1 mouth, 1 nose. And regardless of your health or your wealth right now, your actions, these 2 hands were built to work. And you have the ability to serve other people with an unbelievable opportunity. So what are the actions you're taking? And do you understand that those are the 2 things you can control? If something's going on in your life and you realize that you can't work yourself out of it and you can't change your attitude about it, then why stress about it? Don't waste time on things you can't control. Lil Wayne dropped his new album, and there's mixed feelings about it, right? I know that you guys have mixed feelings about Lil Wayne's new album, but Lil Wayne's new album, he has a song, and the song is actually pretty interesting. I'm pulling it up right now because I want to be the right one. It's Don't Cry. And he says, let God control what I can't control. And Lil Wayne talks about that in this song. So whether it's Lil Wayne, Drake, Lil Uzi, John Maxwell, Stephen Furtick, they're all saying the same thing. High-level success. You control your attitude and you control your actions. Number 3, stay plugged in. Congratulations. We just reached 200 people. 200 people on this call, staying plugged in. Were you on Chris Terry's session last night? Are you going to be on IML TV London session for your Tuesday trade setups? Stay plugged in as possible. I have an iPhone 8 Plus. This thing freaking dies 10 times faster than anything in the world. I have no idea why, but I have to keep it plugged in. This laptop must stay plugged in order for it to work properly. You can have the best operating system in the world, but if it's not plugged in and it's dead, it's useless. So stay plugged in. People don't do what you say, they do partially what you do. And as a leadership principle, when leaders see other leaders on the call, that's when they get excited. When leaders see other people taking notes with their cameras on, that's when they get excited. And so are you staying plugged in? Number 4, do you have realistic expectations about your business? SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. That's how you know if you have realistic expectations. Are you specific about your rank advancement this month? Are you measurable? Can you measure it? Not, I want to make a lot of money. No, I'm 42 orders away from chairman. Measurable, obtainable. Do you believe it? That's all that matters for obtainable. Do you believe it? Truly. Realistic. What does realistic mean? That it has a time, a date, and a place where you're going to hit that goal. And then timely. You have to have a date. So do you have realistic expectations? And this applies for trading as well too. Number 5, do you have a 4-week rank advancement goal? It's October 1st. What is your 30-day rank advancement goal? Are you P150 going P600, P600 going P1000, P1000 going Platinum 5000, Platinum 5000 going Chairman? What is it? Are you Chairman 25 going Chairman 50? Are you a customer right now and you just want to get free product? Do you have a rank advancement goal? If you don't have a goal, then you don't know what you're even aiming for. Don't allow the universe to decide 30 days from now where you're going to be, because you won't like it. You make a decision in advance, reverse engineer it, and work it. Number 6, do you personally enroll at least one new person, new customer every single month? 4 minutes before this call, I believe he's on here right now, my boy Dawson Bruce, newest customer in iMarkets Live in the chat box. If you're excited for new people getting started, put 777, my favorite number. Welcome Dawson to the iMarkets Live family. He's on here right now. Literally got started less than 5 minutes before this call started. He is fired up and excited to trade with the best. Are you personally enrolling? Ryan Morris, my business partner. Kids brought in like 9 people in the last 2 weeks. Unbelievable. Are you actively staying in phase 1? Number 7, are you committed to mastering the skills to become a professional? I love this guy, Gerard Adams. You've never looked this kid's stuff up? Gotta look it up. He's not a kid. He's like considered the millennial mentor. But his interview with Ed Mylett is like, it's insane. Absolutely insane. Please don't draw on the screen, but yes, check mark. Okay. It's nuts. And Gerard Adams has this saying. He talks about becoming a world-class leader. A world-class leader. In order to become a world-class network marketer, you must master prospecting, inviting, presenting, following up, closing, and getting people started. Launching the newest member the right way. It is so vital. It is so important in order to go out there and to do that. Mastering those 7 skills. Are you committed to being a master? That's it. Are you committed? Number 8, can you lead a strategy session? Can you lead a strategy session? If you don't know what a strategy session is, it is simply hopping on Zoom, hopping on the phone, sitting beside the newest person, making sure they have their why, making sure they have their list, making sure they know how to invite, making sure that they're set up at least on a demo account, making sure that they're plugged into the products, making sure they have a trading strategy or following someone who does have a trading strategy. Leading a strategy session is so unbelievably important to launch your newest member the right way. Can you lead a strategy session? And if you can, are you? And if you can't, why not? Ask yourself that. Make sure you can lead a strategy session. If I was you, would get your top 5, top 10, top 20, whatever it is, leaders in your business and have a strategy session going into this 90-day push to go into 2019 smacking brand new goals. Number 9, can you lead an effective presentation? On number 9, hopefully you're taking notes and writing these 10 points down. On number 9, the key word is practice. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice allows progress. And that's what we're after. Truthfully, my humble opinion is simply that you don't actually want to be rich. This is truth. You don't actually want to be fit. You don't actually want those things. You just want progress. In the process, are you going to get rich? Of course. Are you going to get fit? Of course. Are you going to be abundantly happy? Of course. Are you going to be spiritually inclined and emotionally intelligent? Absolutely. But the reality is that happiness and progression coincide. They are directly related. And so practice is how you become a professional at presenting. Guys, it's easy. Our product's money. Everyone spends money on education. We have the PowerPoint. It's duplicatable, but you must practice. Pull a Zoom, set a Zoom meeting, and only invite yourself. Start the Zoom meeting, share the screen, and practice over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Record yourself, watch it, critique yourself, take notes on it, have your bullet points, know what you're going to say next. Can you lead an effective presentation? And then number 10, I'm going to add on to this point, and then we're going to be done. Number 10, there are 3 people that you need in this industry to find eventually. You don't have to find them today, but 3 people that you need to find. That's it. 3. Number 1, you need to find a mentor. You must find a mentor. I mean, it is humbling to say the least to have someone like John Gwyman, 22 years old, chairman 25, going on chairman 50. Kid just turned 22, about to be making 50 racks a month, and says that I've been a mentor to him. I mean, that's unbelievably humbling. But you must find a mentor. And whether it's John Gwyman, Christopher Derrick, myself, Ryan Morris, Abby Poston, Austin Gotzi, Alex Morton, Jason Brown, Matthew Rosa, whoever it is, Andrew Carnegie, Tesla, Steve Jobs, find a mentor. Number 1, find a mentor. That's the first person you need to find. Number 2, you need to find a running partner. You need to find a running partner. This is someone who isn't above you, isn't below you. You see each other as equals. You work together. They push you, not pull you. You guys can have real talk. This person must be brutally honest with you. They must be blunt. They must know your why. They must use your why against you when you decide to take a couple of days off, when you get out of phase 1, when you get into management mode. And you have to become coachable to each other and grind. So whether they're up, down, or to the side, you must lock arms with that grind partner. You must find that running partner. These 90 days, you have to have that person. I'm grateful to have Ryan. Ryan and I run every day. Run. Calls, trainings, personally enrolling, launching newest members the right way, divide and conquer. He's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. Boom, I'm walking with these 5 people. You're walking with these 5 people. We freaking run. Run. Must find that person. And then lastly, you must find your apprentice. You must find your apprentice. Someone you can pour into, someone who's coachable, someone who's teachable. I've got a few within our organization, Mr. Joe Williams, Mr. Ben Dixon. I can go on. There are quite a few people, but people you just pour time and energy into that are coachable, teachable, willing to learn, freaking all in, have this checklist, booking events, doing venues, doing calls. They're doing things without you telling, asking. They're building this thing. Apprentices, people you can plug into. Daniel Schuler, another one. I mean, I can't name all of them. Don't get salty me if I didn't drop your name. But there are other people you can just, boom, they're crushing it day in and day freaking out, which is huge to have that person. So you have an apprentice, you have a mentor, and then you have your running partner, guys. So that is simply what I have for you guys tonight. If you received any value at all, Nate Alleman as well, if you received any value at all, drop a 111 in the chat box. I would love to hear what your biggest takeaways were. I'm so honored and grateful to be able to be on a call like this. And here's something I want you guys to write down. Wow, look at all these ones, baby. Let's go. We're going to break Zoom tonight. I want to read something to you that I was reading about Andrew Carnegie, and it talked about goal setting. If you want to be happy, write this down. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. If you want to be happy, not if you want to be rich, not if you want to be famous, not if you want to be liked, if you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. Guys, tonight is day 1. It is day 1. I don't know what happened last month. I don't know what happened last year. I don't know what happened at dinner. But today, right now, you have the ability to set the reset button on your life. It is day 1. And you have 90 days. You have tonight and 89 more nights. in order to hit whatever goals, dreams, and aspirations, to set your family up for future success, to build residual income, to invest, to be able to truthfully do whatever you want with whoever you want, however you want, whenever you want. And there's very few people in the world that can say that, and there's everyone in iMarkets Live after this 90-day push that should be able to say that. I'll repeat it one more time before I throw it back to the man. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Mr. John Guaman, Chairman 25, your leader, your mentor, someone who's an absolute unbelievable success story within iMarkets Live, and even more than that, an amazing, amazing, amazing human being. I'm going to throw it back to you, brother. So thank you for having me on the call.
Thank you. Thank you, Jewkes. And I honestly hope that every single one of you guys have taken notes I took notes on what Christian was actually talking about today, guys. Absolute monster hustler, also VP of sales in Verve. And this guy, like I said, I learned from him every single time we meet something new, guys. So make sure that you guys are taking notes on this aspect. But yeah, 100% want to thank you, for throwing down on that last training in this call. And guys, I'm going to probably take a solid 10 to 15 minutes to kind of go over maybe some experiences in the past of the 90 days and some tips and tricks to go all out to kind of more or less obtain whatever it is that you want these next 90 days. And then after that, we're going to have Mr. Alex Morton himself, EVP of sales, come up here and close it out for every single one of you guys. So let's talk about kind of the 90-day sprint. So understand, guys, for me, myself, in the 90-day sprint aspect, it's led me to have big quantum leaps. And what I'm saying by that is I remember the last 90-day sprint that I had was back when I was a P5000 going on a Chairman 25 run. I think it was back in January of 2018. And I remember starting in January of 2018. And one of the people that I was working with specifically, I remember volume was dropping. Everything around me was just going so low. And they say, right, the darkest hour comes right before the light. Absolutely crazy, because for me, I just felt like I was overcoming so many different types of adversities. And then within a 3-month period, I went from Plat 5000 to Chairman 25, and we went through that quantum leap together. And it's absolutely insane, because I want to kind of talk a little bit about what thought process, what exactly happened, some of the technicals of going out there and helping you kind of rank up or go out there and hit that 6-figure income on both a networking level or both, let's say, a trading level. And we're going to be very vague about it, but I'm going to go in depth about everything that we're going to be talking about today, guys. Okay, so let's talk about the 90-day sprint. And some of the things it's done for me in the past has absolutely taken me to a multiple 6-figure income from going from P5 to Chairman 25. So now let's kind of talk about how I kind of operate my 90-day sprint. And you guys could do something similar. I think it's going all out. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going all in. When I say going all in, you're laser focused, right? You're going all in. Let's say if you set a certain goal for yourself, there's a quote in Think and Grow Rich, and it states that there is nothing that can stake the will of a man who is willing to risk his own survival on his own existence. Basically translated, and I'll say it one more time, there's nothing that can stake the will of a man who is willing to risk his own survival on his own existence. There's nothing that can stop a man's goal, essentially, if he's willing to risk his own survival on his own purpose. Okay, so let's say if you're setting a goal for yourself so bad, you have an immediate desire for that goal. You set it in stone, right? And you will do absolutely anything to create that goal and bring it into your reality. Okay, so this is kind of a little bit of the obsession that I had when I first started this entire business, and I'm getting this entire obsession back. It's crazy because, Grant Cardone kind of talks about, be obsessed or be average. I think another good resource was Your Wish is Your Command. Kevin Trudeau talks about balance, but he talks about in the beginning, sometimes you need to be more balanced in one part of your life than the other, right? In order to create whatever it is that you want, right? So now let's talk about the 90-day sprint and what would go on or what kind of hours you would put into your 90-day sprint. If you're part-time, cool, work on the 90-day sprint after your job. So if you're working a 40-hour-a-week job, I would put 20 to however many hours you want to go into this entire business. If you're full-time, I'm talking working 40 to 50, maybe even 60 hours a week. And I'm going to be super transparent and very vulnerable with every single person on this call here, because most of you guys are leaders. I'm not trying to prospect you. I'm not trying to bring you into the call, right? I'm not trying to bring you into this business, but I'm just going to be 100% real. And I'm going to tell you the exact steps that took me to kind of go from that P5 to that Chairman 25 run. So let's talk a little bit about putting in the hours and the efforts, right? Understand the value behind it. Okay, it takes 16 days to change a habit, correct? And 90 days to change a lifestyle. So very few people might be able to actually go out there and really commit to this 90-day sprint. We could say maybe 1 out of 10, right? Or 1 out of 100. But the people that commit, and commitment's what's left after the emotion of the moment is gone, the people that truly commit to this entire 90-day sprint will 100% see the results. I've seen it time and time again. Anytime anyone has committed to anything great at any point in life, you can give dozens and dozens and millions of examples. They have gotten the results. Okay. So in the technical aspect, let's talk about what it is that you should be doing. I would say at least exposing 3 to 5 people a day. If you're going out there and trying to make a big time impact in network marketing, if you're going out there and trying to make a lot of money trading, I would mark up 3 to 5 charts every single day, right? And have a trading plan. You'll see the most successful traders in the world actually mark up charts and practice on their demo account before they're ever actually on their regular account or trading on their live account. It's crazy because if you look in depth into trading, certain traders will trade for 1 whole year straight on demo before they ever even go live, just to master the psychology aspect, to master the technical aspect. So go out there and be marking up 3 to 5 charts a day. If you're full-time, or if you want to become a successful trader, if you want to become a successful marketer, go out there and prospect 3 to 5 people a day. When you're not doing that, guys, my biggest thing would be like, go out there and go through your chairman's checklist. I know for my group, you guys have know what the chairman checklist is. If you guys don't, it's actually given by Brandon Boyd on IML Elite, or IML Universe. So you guys can actually check that out, or my video as well. Have some type of fast start training for your duplication. Okay. It's not about what works. It's about what duplicates. You're going to want to have some sort of training or fast start training to bring in your newest guys, have them go out there and get set up the first 72 to 48 hours, because what someone does the first 48 to 72 hours dictates how they'll take the next 30, 60 to 90 days up front, 100%. So you want to make sure that you have something that is duplicatable within your entire group. Okay. And when you're not doing this and when you're not prospecting, guys, you want to be running op calls. You want to be going out there and building a belief of other people. You want to be running training calls, let's say on the weekends. You want to be going out there and expanding your mind, right? Developing who you are, because your income will never outweigh how much value you add to the marketplace, right? A 6-figure earner is not there by coincidence. It's because of the value he's able to provide other people and how he's able to duplicate that, right? So you want to be expanding also outside your area, learning new skill sets. What differentiates you as a leader compared to another person, right? It's crazy because I'll mention someone like, let's say even Jay Pips. Let's mention somebody like Elias Montilla. The video, maybe pick up a new skill set that you're going to learn that could help applicate your entire business and take it to the next level. Like, let's say videography, let's say Photoshop, let's say social media. Whatever that new skill set is, you're going to want to be able to start applying it into this entire business. Right now, a huge key that I want to give you guys for this whole 90-day sprint when you're going out there and running presentations, or you're going out there and you're trading. I remember Jason Brown actually telling me this, and he told me a lot about availability. Okay. Availability is key. When I was a P2000 and I was just so hungry for success, like I wanted chairman, I made myself available almost a little bit too much. But I started to realize that availability with the right type of people is so key, right? So I want you guys to become more available to the hungry people, right? Don't just set up times for yourself where you're like, you know what, today I'm going to grind, today I'm not going to do it, right? Emotion, commitment's what's left after the emotion of the moment is gone, right? So set times up for yourself where you're clocking in and clocking out, building your entire business. That way you have some sort of ideal plan and guide that tells you how many hours you're putting into a business and when you're getting out. Next thing that I recommend with every single person, guys, is reevaluating your list. Christian touched up on this super, super heavily, right? I remember actually talking to Jason. He actually gave me this training out there in Miami, and he was talking a lot about, yeah, okay, we have people building the list, right, of 30 people. If they're going out there and they want to get free product, if they want to go out there and build this entire business, a list of 100 plus. But too many times we recruit down, we don't recruit up. I tell every single person now, if they're getting started and we're jump starting their entire business, right at the top, the 20 most influential people that you know at this current moment. Right? Let's start recruiting up, start talking to the people that you're scared of, because at any point in time, those would be the people that would come over here, check this entire business model out, and go out there and build it, right? Very, very simple concept, guys, right? We're working with a 6 and a 7-figure business model, right? 6-figure business model. Network marketing has created more 6-figure earners than any other industry in the world. Trading and investing has created more 7-figure earners than any other industry in the world, right? And that is a fact. So why would you be scared to go out there and show something to someone that is super influential? They have to see the value. If they don't, maybe that's up to them. But honestly, be super passionate and have full-blown belief. And your framing, the stronger frame in a conversation always wins. Right? And your frame will obviously duplicate to that person. So now let's talk a little bit about going out there. And when you're taking massive action, what this is going to do to your entire business, guys, it's going to start building up over time your own belief, your own confidence, your own posture, right? Repetition and experience is the best way of learning. It is the father of learning, right? When you start kind of having a certain type of freedom of outcome and kind of start caring less of other people's opinions, that is when you're all in, okay? When you're all in, when you say, okay, Tony Robbins a lot of the time says, your success starts the moment you say, I do. The moment you say you commit. The moment you say, today is the day that my life is completely changed. Today is the day I am no longer going to be smoking cigarettes. Today is the day I do. Today I marry this person with the I do. Today I do this. Today I do that. It doesn't start in one small menial task. It starts in that one instant, like today. With the 200 people on the call, and you notice that there is about 215 plus people and a couple stepped away. But for the 200 people on the call, your success starts the moment you say I do to yourself and you fully commit to those goals. Okay? So understand this, guys. It starts in that very instant and you start operating at a higher frequency, start taking that quantum leap. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, but I'm going to give you the last couple of technicals that you guys are going to write down. That way, this, like I said, this is what I've done time and time again, and it's helped me so much in the past. So right now, number one, reverse engineering your rank. If you have a goal, set something in stone to exactly what it is that you need to have a plan of action for that goal. Okay, most people fail because they have a lack of plan of action. They're just like, okay, I want Chairman 100. I'm just gonna, think it, feel it, emotionalize it, and don't do any work or anything. It doesn't work like that. Okay, the universe only gives you what you are deserving of. So reverse engineer your rank. How would I reverse engineer your rank? Let's say you're looking at the prestigious rank of Chairman 10. If you're looking at the prestigious rank of Chairman 10, then you would need 2 P5Ks, right? You would need 5 P2Ks, and then you would need 12 P1Ks. Let's say you're looking at the prestigious rank of Platinum 1000, then you would need 2 P600s, and then let's say let's say P150 or halfway through P600. Let's say you're looking at P600, whatever rank it is, guys, reverse engineer. And what this is going to do, it's going to give you a plan of action to go out there and basically crush whatever type of goal it is that you have. Let's say it's a trading goal. If you have a trading goal, have a plan of action for that trading goal. Okay. So I would be like, okay, if I compound my account, let's say 10% every 2 weeks, which is like, let's say 1% every single day. This is what I would have. Do the math and figure that entire thing out. Have a plan of action. Number 2, set goals for yourself on your team and other people. Track your numbers. I talked about this actually in Miami. Every single successful business person in the world tracks their numbers. If they didn't, they would go out of business. Okay, I have decided to set goals back when I was a P600. But the next level of leadership is setting goals for other people. So who is it that you're working with in your entire organization that you see carrying the P1000 rank, the P2000 rank? And how can you help him elevate or more or less get to the next level? That will take you to the next level of leadership. Okay, so if you're at that P600 level, now set up a goal. Okay, cool. I've hit P600. How can I help my friend George out here? Who's, obviously has full belief, needs a little bit of training. How can I get this person to P600 or P1000 as quickly as possible? Because if you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want every single time. That is the reality. That is the truth. Next thing, another tip that I would recommend to you guys, theme your days. So what I mean by theming your day is like, let's say I would do this a lot when, especially now
that I have a little bit, I'm not traveling too much. So what theming your day is essentially is like, okay, cool. Let's say one day you decide to go on a massive prospecting or recruiting spree. And then the next day will be your trading day. And then the next day would be your follow-up day. Thursday would be your content creation day. So everything would fall under content creation. Friday would be a development day to redevelop yourself and also reevaluation. Theming your days are what probably some of the most successful people in this entire world do, and start duplicating that. Okay. Because if you get caught up on just answering so many different messages all in one day, trust me, I do this. I wake up every single morning. There's another 100, 200 messages in my inbox. And I literally spent hours and hours and hours a day answering messages all day. And it just got so overwhelming for me. So I started to realize, okay, cool. If I can theme my day a little bit better, right? I have a chance to go out there and become a little bit more creative and also build my business in the long term. So a next thing that I would recommend, work your freaking ass off. Okay. Meetings should be scheduled every single day, right? So for me, what I'm doing right here is I have my whiteboard over here, and I have a bunch of whiteboards all over the place. But it's like, okay, cool. My goal this coming month is to recruit 20 personal sponsors, 20 personal customers. Have them over there trying to figure out with my system if they're a trader, if they're a marketer, when their launch calls are, et cetera, having everything kind of organized, right? Because organization is going to take you to the next level, especially when you're building a massive business. And we want to look at this entire thing for the long term, guys. All right, longevity is key. Why I'm encouraging you guys to take that 90-day sprint just in the long term is just because, guys, like, understand that with this business, you know, it could take a little bit of time. You might get frustrated and stuff. But one thing my mentor told me that I honestly will take forever was he said, John, you could completely, suck. You could be the worst network marketer in the entire world. You could be the worst trader in the world. But if you ranked up twice a year, right, every single year for 4 years, you could go out there and make a huge impact by helping thousands of people. But not just that, also being a 7-figure earner in that aspect. And I looked at him and I was like, wait a minute. I could just 4 years of college or 4 years of network marketing, which made more sense to me. And I was like, you know what? 4 years of network marketing just seemed a lot more powerful. And the reason I thought this was just for the sole fact, guys, that this industry gives us the blessing of going out there and not just helping ourselves, but the only way you're going to be able to go out there and make a certain amount of income is by impacting and helping other people along the way to get there. There is no other way to do it. I guarantee you this. This is the only lovely industry in the world where you're not stepping over each other. We're uplifting other people to get to where it is that we want to go. So the only way you're going to be able to go out there and make a massive amount of income is by having that intention of going out there and helping as many people as possible. Okay. So let's have that intention. And I encourage every single one of you guys. I'm going to talk about this last aspect before I bring up Mr. Alex Morton. Hopefully he's on the call. I'm going to text him right now, but let's talk about quantum leaping. And I sent every single one of you guys a video on quantum leaping, right? So what quantum physics is essentially the idea that there are millions and millions of realities all across the world. So there are different parallel universes, different dimensions in this entire world. Okay, now this might sound a little bit crazy. This might sound a little off to some people, but quantum physics is actually a real thing by science, right? You could look this thing up. This is what Jewkes was actually talking about, the law of attraction, right? Your world, your thinking, your consciousness actually affects the world around you. Okay, so let me give you this as an example, what quantum leaping is. Let's think of your thoughts, right? Let's think of your desires, right? And when we think about your desires, your thoughts, think of your brain as a radio station tuning into one frequency. Let's say that frequency is the reality that you have created for yourself. So the reality that you have created for yourself is at this one frequency. Just like a radio, let's say this frequency is at 105.5. And because you're operating at this certain frequency, right, this is the reality you have created for yourself. And this frequency, you could be living a decent life, an okay life, or bad life. Maybe you victimize yourself. Maybe you're someone that's living abundantly, whatever it is. But if you could elevate, let's say, your frequency from 105.5 to 105.7, that is the frequency of you. That is the frequency of a higher you, or let's say that chairman you, or that 6-figure trader you. So today, leaving this call, I want you guys to operate at the frequency and thought process of a 6-figure earner. I want you to inherit the mindset of a 6-figure earner. Think of what that person would look like, what that person would be like, what that person would feel like, what that person would talk like, what would that person sound like, what kind of posture does that type of six-figure earner you have. I remember back in Platinum 2000, Platinum 1000, I was operating at the posture in a level of state where I already knew I was chairman. Time just had not caught up yet. And that's what you're going to want to duplicate. Operate at that level and you will bring it into your reality, right? So one thing Greg Braden talks about, and I always talk about this all the time, right, is when it's actually in the Lost Book of Thomas in the Bible. And he says, when you can marry your thoughts and emotions and they become one, you could ask the mountain move and the mountain will move. Okay, so what he was saying here was we can bring our thoughts and feelings into one aspect, into one thing. Whatever it is we want, we can essentially have. And this is actually a quotation mark quoted from Jesus Christ himself in the Lost Books of Thomas. You guys can go look this up on Google. Absolutely insane, right? And these 4 things that I've learned, these are the last 4 things, will take you to the next level. First one is vision. Second one is desire. Third one is decision. And the 4th is commitment. And I want to thank you guys for obviously hopping on here every single day. I'm super excited to be bringing you guys value, especially with Christian and also Alex Morton. I appreciate every single one of you for hopping on this call today. Now I'm going to bring the man, the myth, the legend, somebody I've looked up to since I was like 18 years old, literally, right? Seeing his YouTube videos, studying his presentation, going out there and literally going back and forth on listening to how this guy was doing back then. And now to see what it is that he's been able to accomplish now, kind of more or less being kind of like, how could I say, like the head image of some young millennial entrepreneur that's able to go out there and inspire tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people now in the future. So I want to appreciate, obviously, Alex for being on the call today. So Alex, are you there? Let me see. Perfect.
I am here. What's going on? How you guys doing tonight? Super excited to be here. I'm actually over here in a little dinner meeting in the other room, but I got a little empty dining room right here. So I'm stepping away from the sushi to talk to you guys here for a little bit. Just want to say super fired up and excited. Obviously, Christian Jewkes is the man. Love that dude. He's grown so much. Since I've been working with him, for the last, I don't even know now, 4 or 5 years. Just an amazing entrepreneur, in general, somebody that really knows what he is doing. I have no doubt he's going to smash out Chairman 10 here very, very soon. So shout out to Mr. Jewkes for putting this thing on, and also Mr. John Gualman, I believe the youngest Chairman 25 in the entire company of iMarkets Live. Apologize for my throat. I've been doing Zoom calls literally all day with lots of international teams. So my throat hurts a little bit, but I'm excited to be here a little bit tonight. And I know you guys have been talking a lot about desire, commitment, action, beliefs. And, one thing that I always say is that most of you already know how to go Chairman 10. Most of you know what it takes to go Chairman 10. Most of you understand what you need to be doing, the prospecting, the presenting, the promoting, the skills every single day, to get to where you want to go. And this business is actually quite simple. It's doing the basics over and over and over again. And what I want to share with you guys right now, just for, a few moments here as we wrap this thing up. I'm trying to go outside. Hopefully music's loud outside too. Okay. I'll just keep sitting here then. There's really, the fact that we've got like about 90 or so days left in 2018. So to me, that's like a sign of like, yo, you got to really turn this thing up. Like how much, how fast? This business is easier to do fast than it is to do slow. And the reason why people like Christian Jewkes, people like John Gualman, people like Jason Brown, Matthew Rose, and Brandon Boyd, the reason why they have success, the reason why I've been able to create momentum everywhere I put my 2 feet in the industry of network marketing is because I operate, I exist, I cannot breathe without the idea of creating momentum. And that's what you got to be operating with. The mindset you got to have for the next 94 days is, how do I get this thing off the ground, launched the right way? Because everything you do between now and the rest of the year, all that is you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds of chairman. You're planting seeds of greatness. And you're planting seeds. So in 2019, you can cash in, hit 222 in the chat box. If 2019, you're like, yo, I'm going to get paid on my effort. I'm going to get paid on my sacrifice. I'm going to get paid on all of the work and the effort and the prospecting and the people telling me no, people telling me it's a scam, all that crap that I had to deal with for the last year, 2 years, some of you maybe 3 or 4 years in industry network marketing. You're like, yo, 2019, I'm going to win. I'm going to cash out. I'm going to get to where I want to go. And the way you do that is by taking the next 90 days and you do something called collapsing time. I see Julian Thorne's on here. What's up, bro? There are so many amazing leaders on here that have done so much. Probably Nigel Khalil, you're probably on here. A few others in Texas, maybe Arizona, maybe Florida, maybe Cali. A lot of you are probably U.S. based, and you got to understand that. iMarkets Live right now from a corporate standpoint. Some of you may be newer to this whole movement of iMarkets Live. I'm the executive vice president of the company, so I work hand in hand with Christopher Terry, IC Stillatori. I was in New York last week with them talking about the new mining, talking about the new products and services we're launching, talking about some incentive-based programs that I really want to do, some travel stuff in 2019 to really create a fun culture, a culture of people winning and celebrating you guys to the highest level. And I'll tell you, if you missed IML Soars, it was an amazing event. And what you need to do is make sure you do not miss IML Unleashed. I just love that word unleashed. It just gets me fired up right now. I'm over here in a dining room by myself. I'm just about to start chucking these glass cups all over the place and throw them against the window because I'm so fired up about IML Unleashed, because it's going to be a 15,000 plus person event. If you don't have your ticket yet, get your ticket. And remember, when it comes to success, the spiritual side of success, remember, you have to make room for the good in which you desire. So if you're like, man, I'm going Chairman 10, I am Chairman 10, it's already a done deal, you got to be thinking, okay, I got to have at least 100 people. I need to have 100 people. What's up? What? Okay, 1 second. Just relax. I got to have 100 people at this event, 100%, going to the next level, making this thing happen on a whole nother level. And that's the mindset you've got to have, is that, man, I'm taking this thing all the way up. And you have to understand that, events change lives and information changes situations 100%. So in creating momentum, you have to be pointing towards an event. You have to be pointing towards an event where you're bringing all the people, you're bringing guests, you're bringing prospects, you're bringing A-level players to this event, and you are completely promoting this thing like your life depends on it. And that's what you need to do. You need to be sold out on IML Unleashed. And what you need to be doing for the next 90 days is getting back into the recruit mode. You got to get back into the mode of, hey, I'm going to attract new people into my business. I'm going to go find the new winners, the new shakers, the new movers into my business, and I'm going to go do whatever it takes to make sure I rank advance at least 2 times between now and December 31st. John Guaman, Christian Jewkes, Jason Brown, Matthew Rosa, Christopher Terry, myself, David Imaniti, everybody's saying, you know what, we're going to the next level in the next 90 days. No matter what, we're going to make it happen. Come hell or high water, we're going to make it happen. You guys have an unbelievable opportunity. You have unbelievable leadership. You have unbelievable people around you. You guys just heard amazing training by John Guaman, Christian Jewkes. I mean, the time is now. And some of you are younger, so you really don't get it. But what I got to tell you is that 2019 will be a year people will point to and say, man, do you remember 2019? Do you remember IML Unleashed? Do you remember all of these people that made it happen, that won the trading side, the educational side, building a big business side, Chairman 10 and above? That is what's going on right now. And you have to make a decision that says, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice whatever is needed to get myself to the next level. And if you can make a decision tonight and say, I'm going to take the next 90 days and I'm going to work harder. I'm going to do more calls. I'm going to do more Zooms. I'm going to prospect more people. I'm going to read more books. I'm reading books. I'm reading a book called Secrets of the World Class right now. It's an amazing book. I'm going to listen to more audios. You're going to the bathroom. You're brushing your teeth. You're not listening to Lil Wayne. You're listening to personal growth, personal development. One of my biggest secrets to my success and the success of a lot of people in this company is that we've never stopped growing, reinvesting back into the business, reinvesting into helping leaders go to cities, fly around, do what they need to do what they need to do to grow their business. So, guys, I'm excited and fired up. I'll tell you what, I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so excited. I am so blessed to be able to serve you guys. And I'm always here. And I'm telling you that, if you can, dream it, you can do it. It sounds cliche. It sounds like this, that, and the other. But my 8-year anniversary is coming up February 11th. And I will tell you that I have never been this excited, this passionate, this fired up my entire career. And it is because this company is allowing normal people, average people with above average goals, dreams, and desires to win at massive levels. So guys, I'm going to be doing a Europe tour kicking off very soon. I'm going to be in the Netherlands. I'm going to be in 2 cities in Belgium. I'm going to be in London, England. I'm going to be in Frankfurt, Germany. I'm going to be in Slovenia. I'm going to be in Paris, France, Madrid, Spain, Barcelona, Spain, Lisbon, Portugal. I'm going like 15 markets in 3 weeks, and we're going to light the place. We're going to light the city on fire. And I'm just so pumped up and excited to help you guys get to the next level. So I love you guys. I care about you. Let's connect on social media. And I'm telling you, you guys have what it takes to achieve greatness and go Chairman 10. So let's stay focused. Let's stay passionate. And we'll see you guys at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. Much love, Christian Jewkes. Back to you, my brother.
What's going on, guys? So I want to thank you, like I said, one more time, and every single person for obviously being on this call. And let's run, guys. Let's go. 90 days till the end of the year. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you guys got value tonight, go shout out Mr. Alex Morton on Instagram. Go shout out Mr. Christian Jewkes on Instagram. And go shout out, obviously, myself on Instagram. And let's fucking run it. Let's go.